All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Makakadash, Barakatham to the elders and apostles, or Akim or Akwaf, let's say Shalom. And this is a quick sit down lesson of the M.O.T.B news updates as of May the 24th, 2025, on this Saturday night. And this is even though this was a previous news articles, but it's still, leaning towards the central digital bank currency and the pushing of the M.O.T.B as well too. It says from the Bloomberg law published 3 days ago, it says preserve the dollar's reserve current status with a stable coin. Because the new status is going to be the digital currency, the digital money and the digital dollar as well too, brought along with the stable coin, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. And we're going to see the paper dollar, which is going to be a thing of the past. So we see increasing signs of that on an everyday basis, as we see the increasing of the growing of all these nations leaning towards the digital finance and the new digital economy and the digital global with digital currency. We see increasing signs of that, as we see in the paper dollars going to be a thing of the past. And we're going to be seeing the full adoption of this brain implant of the technology that they want to implement in your body in order for you to buy or sell the new transactions. It says the central digital bank currency and the future of money, a global shift towards sovereign digital currency. Right, we see definitely an increase in a dramatic shift in it. Slowly but surely, we see an increase. It says Michigan law introduced a 4 new bills target crypto regulations. It says Bank of Korea plots a digital currency. What it's like to use. Right, so what it's like is going to use is going to implement this digital currency. It's going to implement the adoption of this new form of currency. This is going to be backed by the new currency in order for you to buy or sell. So that's going to be basically like the new dollar of digital currency. And it's going to be paper dollar like it be in the past. And it's going to implement right along with it all together. This nanotechnology, this digital dollar, digital ID, digital wallet, digital currency. This technology that they, in order for you to buy or sell, even if you're upper class or lower class of the economic spectrum, this is what they're pushing for them. As I mentioned again, the more I'm pushing on an everyday basis, digital finance and the digital global of this digital money and this digital dollar and this digital currency. It says Saudi central bank shifts to Bitcoin, stacks, bigs, owns, strategic. It says the BNAS unable X payments in Brazil using cryptocurrencies. Right, so I kind of noticed as of lately, we've seen a lot of countries and these businesses and these CEOs in all these countries around the world, 130 plus countries, are definitely leaning more and more towards the Bitcoin cryptocurrency. Because at first it was about the pushing of the digital currency. Now we're starting to see, as of lately, for the past, I would say, week and a half or 2 weeks, you've seen the rising increase of the pushing more of this cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, stablecoin, because all these platforms of alternatives of currency. This is going to be new currency. They're going to be in competition with one another as well too. So we're definitely seeing signs of that. It says the central bank of Russia to determine the date for full-scale launch of digital currency. The launch of digital ruby by the end of the year. Right, just like the European Central Bank, they made that announcement that they're going to implement the digital dollar of the central digital currency, I would say in October. And then we're seeing more and more of them pushing the Bitcoin and stable coin cryptocurrency as well too, along with that. Despite the fact despite the fact that EU and the United States, they have tensions between one another. Let's go to currency news. And this is from the AI review. It says, here is the summary of the recent digital currency news. It says the Bitcoin and market performance. Bitcoin reached a new all-time high, surpassing 1,100,000. This surge is attributes to the factors of including increasing institutes and demanding support forms of Trump administrations and the concerns about the U.S. dollar due to the raising treasury yield and deficit concerns. Right, so we've definitely been seeing the pushing of the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, stablecoin, that's being pushed more as we see in the paper dollar is dwindling. And then I believe day before yesterday, you had the Trump administration threatens to use economic tariffs on the European Union, and then use economic tariffs on the company of Apple, because you have manufacturing companies from Apple is creating the iPhones in different countries, rather than it's being made in the United States. So Trump is going to use a 25% tariffs on companies. That's the company of Apple that does manufacturers of iPhones out of the United States, because the Trump administration wants the iPhones to be made in the United States. So if it's not made in the United States, they're going to get hit with a 25% tariffs, and that can affect the value of the dollar, because the dollar has dropped, for the past couple of days, almost close to a week now, and markets have crashed as well too. I believe for 2 or 3 days straight. And it says, but I just want to add a side note to that. It says the Bitcoin, the ETFs saw a significant inflows as the price rallied, the investors purged in billions. It says the overall crypto market experienced a bloodbath with the major coins like Dogecoin, Condias, ADAs, ARP fell by 7%. The Dogecoin fell 7% in hours following a strong week. It says the small fund shares plunged 12% despite buying 21 Bitcoin. It says regulation adoptions. The Senate is advancing the Genius Act, a stablecoin regulation bill. Countries are increasingly exploring of the central digital currency. Right, we definitely seen signs of that. Despite the fact the United States signed an anti-law and executive order in mid-January to have no adoptions of the central digital currency in the United States, rather than having the Bitcoin and stablecoin. It says countries are increasingly exploring the central bank digital currency of the CBCs, with all G20 nations except Argentina in advanced stages of the exploration. It says the U.S. is lagging behind the central digital currency development compared to the other major economics. It says the digital one, the ECNY, remains the largest of the central digital currency plot globally. It says a bill prohibits direct insurance of a retailer CBC by the Federal Reserve passed by the House. So leave it at that. It says local businesses embrace digital currency trends. It says the big bank explorer interpolable stablecoin. And this is a news article from pymnts.com. It says the big bank's explorer interpolable stablecoin published May 23rd, 2025 by the PYMNTS. It says a move that could disrupt the crypto and stablecoin landscape. Major U.S. banks are exploring a creation of a custodian-backed stablecoin, according to the report from the U.S. Wall Street Journal. It says the discussions involve some of the nation's largest financial institutes, including J.P. Morgan, Chase Bank, and American Citigroup, and West Fargo, as well as jointly owned entities such as Early Warning Services, which operates peer-to-peer system, Zelle, and the Clean House. It says the talking among banks remain at an early exploratory stage. It says any form decisions to move forward could depend heavily on legislative developments surrounding digital assets. The faith of the Genius Act bill could recently advance in the Senate, especially significantly. It says, according to the journal, as the reported of the PYMNTS, the proposed legislation would set a clear regulatory framework stablecoin insurance by both banks and non-bank entities, while the latest draft includes the restrictions aimed at preventing non-financial public companies from entering the stablecoin market freely, and we stop short of the outright ban that some banks lobbyists have set. And this is another news article, as we see in the pushing more and more of the cryptocurrency as of lately, and the Bitcoin as well too. It says, as we see in these different parts in the United States signing these bills into law, so they can be approved, for the adoption of the cryptocurrency, so you can have it as payments, as an alternative payment, as we see the paper dollar is declining. It says from by our friends at May the 24th, 2025 by the DCREreport.org. It says crypto adoptions effective on DC area local businesses. It says for a teeny digital experience, the use of cryptocurrency has developed into a major influence, altering local companies through the United States as a local company investigating and accepting the advantage of digital currency. This change in Washington, D.C. is slowly becoming more obvious. A rise of a number of capital-based businesses, from cafes and boutiques and services providers and software startups, are including cryptocurrency in their payment systems. The business strategy. The outcome is a change in how companies interact with customers and present themselves in a fast digitization society. Right, that's what we're pushing for, more of a digitized society. And it's already enough. They're trying to use this artificial intelligence. They're trying to push these 15 minute cities. That's going to be part of digital transactions. So we're definitely in the book of Revelations. Like it stated in the book of Revelations 13, verse 16 to verse 17. Revelation 13, verse 16 to verse 18. And that Revelation 3, verse 10 as well, too. It says how local DC businesses have been affected by the cryptocurrency adoption. The increased payment flexibilities. Increased payment flexibilities is providing among the most obvious and quick, effective cryptocurrency growth in the DC region. Traditional payments methods like cash and credit cards have limitations. Transaction fees and processing times have often geographically restricted. Cryptocurrency allows quick peer-to-peer transactions, and it could be executed at any time. Like that's why they're going to be choosing options of cross-border payments. You can use online and offline as well too. And that's going to adopt the RFID and the CHIP as well too, along with this digital dollar, digital ID, digital wallet, digital currency, in order for you to buy or sell and do transactions. As we lean towards that direction, it says at a time at night or the weekends, offering Bitcoin as a payment option, as a connectivity using for companies serving as a tech-savvy customer or visitors who could distribute digital alternatives. Digital currencies have started to be accepted in coffee shops, food trucks, and even local galleries. And like areas like Adam, Morgan, Shaw, allowing customers to adopt to pay using safe mobile wallets. It says apart from simplifying the buying process, this extra flexibility draws a larger audience, especially younger consumers and customers who are more prone to utilize the digital assets. This has led an increase in interest on the ongoing USD into BTC exchange rate. It's the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 16. It says, "It calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free or bond, to receive a karaka in their right hand or in their FOREHEDS." Right, so this is what they're pushing, the RFID, CHIP, the adoption of the Bitcoin, stablecoin, and cryptocurrency in order for you to buy or sell these transactions. And just like you read that news article, now we're starting to see, the fully adoption, with this QR code and the pushing of this cryptocurrency, digital money, digital cash, which is going to be part of digital tokens that they're going to push and implement as well too, with the QR codes, do wallet payments. And that's going to implement right along with the RFID and the CHIP as well too. The Neuralink and all these technology devices that they want to implement. With that brain implant chip, it's like Apple. They're gonna use, in order for you to buy or sell, to have it more easy and convenient for you to buy or sell. So we see more signs of that as we are seeing these businesses, these companies, and these corporations, and these CEOs lending more and more to that, idea. So that shows that we're living more and more in a digitized, increasing modern day digitized society in order to do transactions to buy or sell. Revelations 13, verse 16, and it calls to all, both small and great, rich and poor, free or bond, to receive a karagma in their right hand or in their FOREHEDS. Revelations 13, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, say that he had the karagma, or the name of the BESC, or the number Z, right? So in order to buy or sell, you got to have that RFID and the CHIP to be part of the MARK of the BESC in order to do transactions to buy or sell. Revelations 13, verse 18, it says, "Here is wisdom, let him have understanding. Count the number." Revelations 13, verse 18. "Here is wisdom, let him have understanding. Count the number of the BESC, for it is a number of a man. For it is a number of a man, and his number is SIX, 303 squared SIX." Right, so this is going to be promoted and pushing more and more of the M.O.T.B of the M.A.R.K. of the B.A.S.T. of this financial system that they're pushing. That's what the scripture says. Here is wisdom, let him have understanding. Count the number of B.A.S.T. What this B.A.S.T. system for the number of a man, and his number is SIX 300 SIX. So with that, hopefully this sit down. Let's lock you. So with that, once again, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying. Well, so hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying. The M.O.T.B news updates as of May the 24th, 2025 on this Saturday night. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Makakadash, Barakatham, to the elders and apostles, or Akim Aqua. Until next time, we'll say Shalom.